The traditional picture of a farm is a white picket fence and a big red barn. However, these days the common sight on farms is a big metal building or two for grain storage.
Oh yeah, farmers have to have it. Joining us now is Neil Melancon for this week's Bottom Line, and storage is a big issue when it comes to farming now.
It is, and if there wasn't complicated enough, on-farm storage has already thrown its weight around this season. We see it in these upticks in the markets seemingly out of nowhere. With harvest largely done across the country, it's the season where prices usually go down, and we've seen some of that. But when we see prices go up for no reason, it's because the markets are trying to entice farmers to sell during this season when prices are cheaper. We'll take a look at that in a minute, but first I want to show you what on-farm storage looks like because the numbers on it can be misleading. Before 2000, the percentage of on-farm storage was around 60%, and it slipped down to around 55% right now. Now this is where it gets confusing because it seems like there's less on-farm storage when actually our capacity is going up. It's just that the amount of grain we're producing is outpacing our ability to store it. For instance, the USDA studied two time periods from 2000 to 2004 and then again from 2010 to 2014. Over those combined periods, on-farm storage was up about 17.5%. But corn production increased 28% during that duration, so you can see that while our capacity has gone up, the amount that we have to store has as well. So while this means that the percentage has slipped, there is still more than 13 billion bushels that are being stored on farm. That weighs heavily on the market, especially when the lull between our harvest season occurs and South America's begins. The bottom line for us in Louisiana is that we market ourselves on being the first to get our grain out. On-farm storage is expensive, and due to the fact that we usually get positive barge basis and more friendly markets than the rest of the country, it often just doesn't pay for farmers to keep those grains for very long, especially because that means their paycheck is delayed. However, I think most farmers would tell you they jump at the chance to have free bins just magically installed on their operations for two reasons. One, on-farm storage gives grains like corn the ability to dry out before selling, and with corn at a lower percentage of moisture, it's just worth more. Two, like our counterparts across the country, storage gives farmers the option to leverage their crop in better market conditions. And guys, that leverage is just one of the many things that they have to think about all season long, not just from when they start back when they plant, but through South America's crop coming in 2016, for instance. How big is that crop going to be? They could hold on to that crop coming up until next summer even, but will they get better prices then versus now or midwinter when it's, the Midwest is done? I'm sure this is just a game, farmers like Landon White play all the time.
He does, and they actually made an investment, and it's a big investment in 3 grain tanks a couple years ago. But other farmers around up there I've seen have done especially with corn, the bags where they stuff
Right,
them.
that's temporary stuff that farmers can use, that some of the mills use.
Right.
It's just temporary at best, and it can be helpful for, here in Louisiana, but then you expose it to the elements a lot more.
Yeah. Well, every time you do one of these stores, Neil, it makes me realize how much farmers really need to have a degree in economics,
Yes.
A degree in Las Vegas gambling, and then also in clairvoyance to be able to know the future.
Helps,
yeah, it definitely helps
absolutely.
a lot. Thank you very much, Neil Melancon. Well, that does it for this edition of TWILA. Be sure to join us next week when we show you how you can get farm fresh Louisiana citrus at your local Farm Bureau office.
Until then, you can watch any of our stories online or on our website at twilatv.org. And like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and on Instagram.
Yeah, we always have the nice tweets. For all of us here at TWILA, I'm Avery Davidson. Thank you for joining us. We hope to see you again right here next week.